Welcome back to Speed Shark Garage. This is 2023, and we got our new project ready to go in the garage. This is it. 1976 BMW 2002. This is going to be our new project. This is the BMW I've had for probably going on 9 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And out of those 10 years, it's ran for 5. I moved out to New Mexico and it blew a head gasket on me. And now it's been sitting in the corner of the garage for the last 4 years. This one came from Arkansas in Little Rock. It was at a used car dealership, and the guy didn't want to sell it. It took me a couple weeks of pressuring him and finally cutting a deal. And with the way these things are going in price, this was a steal for $4,000 when I bought it.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
So definitely they're not $4,000 anymore.
I'll give you 5.
Did some things. This was probably the thing that started. This was like the Speed Shark Garage, my first thing. I would actually say where the shark part I got inspired by, because some of them they call it the shark nose, how they're angled, but more of like the 6 series that I actually had one, but like the 80s 6 series, they had a shark nose is what they call them, and that's kind of what sparked the Speed Shark Garage.
So what about this car for those who don't know? What makes these special?
Man, I would say these are the coolest because this is what saved BMW.
Oh.
So they were tanking pretty hard.
Yeah. So let's go through to what basic things. You're saying 2.0?
Oh yeah, 2.0.
Rear wheel drive.
Rear wheel drive. This one has the 4-speed, which I'm keeping. People do convert 5, but it has the 4-speed rear wheel drive, all independent rear suspension and front. It uses like a coilover McPherson strut setup up front and springs in the rear. Currently, it's got 14 by 9 inch wide wheels. It does have a body kit on it, so if you ever look at an original one, it will not have these fender flares and the front air dam piece. That was done prior to me buying it, and I've never been able to figure out what kit it was, so I have no clue. It was done years and years ago. Yeah. It's got ample trunk space, yeah. And it seats 4 people.
Yeah.
So what our plan is, hopefully, with this car is I have tons of parts. I've done the front suspension and subframe that's been pulled out, painted everything, new bushings, new springs, new control arms, chromoly extended control arms, which are super cool. And I did have everything to do the rear suspension as well. But our biggest plan is to get the 2-liter back in it and running, because currently there's no engine in it. It's torn apart in 100 pieces and also have 3 of them. So we're going to make 3 engines into one really good one. Very mild build. It's not going to be a crazy street rod or something, but it's going to put out nice power and reliability.
Okay, so let's do a walkthrough through this. I'll grab the camera and show us some of your favorite things. Maybe we'll look at the body kit a little more. Tell us about what we're really going to do with this car.
If you never really looked at one, we'll show you actually how cool these things are.
They're super cool.
All right, so we're in the back of this car, and like I said, these trunks are actually fairly big and can fit a lot. We have the original Speed Shark Garage logo there, but as you can see, she's chock full of parts. A lot of this stuff is extra, like glass, carpet, whatever, but underneath This is some more parts for it, and I also have more parts of bins and everything. But
It's big.
I used some storage for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you
it's
fit
a big
lot.
trunk.
There's even, if you can't even see it, but the battery I did relocate back here, and there's a cross member, which will be seen when we clean it all out. So it's back end is all done. And since it's a 76, it does have the square headlights for anyone that actually knows BMW 2002. So it's a square, not a circle. And I'd shaved the bumper because it had a big, down here, it had the big diving board bumper that was pushed in, but it was in really bad shape. So I took that off and shaved on it, filled in all the holes, and painted it black because this is not the original color. This is the baby blue is what I call it, and everyone's called it. It looks white. It might look white on camera, who knows? But it's a baby blue that no one knows where it came from. This isn't original. The car was originally white, repainted. So our goal also is to try to get this paint, or at least super close, because
Matched.
show you up front. So with the paint and being unknown paint code or anything, we really want to find it, because you see this quarter panel, the front fender has damage. It was repaired very terribly, and I would like to get the paint, and actually we're going to try to fix some of this and the little surface rust spots, as you can see, like up on the hood, and get that repaired would be our goal. And if we can't, then we're going to come up with something else. Now, if we move to the body kit, you could see like there's the new fender flares that were installed. These are riveted up underneath, and they actually had cut the wheel well out. It's going to be hard to see in there, but you could trust me.
Yeah.
The wheel well, they actually cut it. So that makes this car pretty hard to bring it back to original.
Yeah.
I mean, the fenders have been cut. These have been riveted on and then blended in, which I actually like. But it makes this car not as precious.
Right.
It would take a lot to get it
For the
original.
purists out there,
Yeah, this one is.
this ain't the one.
No. And then as you can see, we come down to the wheels, and these are just some diamond racing wheels. So they're usually for dirt cars and stuff. And I got them made. I say they're custom made because you really tell them what sizes you want, but I mean, that's how they
like
do
what
everything.
they do. Yeah.
So, but I like to say they're custom.
Yeah, sounds cooler.
But yeah, they're 14, which I like. The 14s fit well. I have a Federal kind of track street tire, nothing too crazy, 4-lug. And then what I thought was funny is I've used a Volkswagen center cap because I hate the extra holes and everything on wheels. So it confuses a lot of people because there's a Volkswagen center cap, diamond racing wheels on a BMW. I think it cleans it up, makes it look real nice. Kind of going for the Corsa steel wheel look. All right, at the front, we are going to open up the hood for you to see everything that's been done. But up front is that custom air dam, but it's all molded into it. They put in ducting for the brakes, which I'd like to redo and actually make it more legit. This is kind of not good. The one thing I am upset about this whole car is that they had cut holes in it here to mount really terrible little fog lights. And so I'll show you this. I think it's pretty funny, and I'd like it. But so I took out those fog lights, and I have big hella lights with brackets. But just so you know, this is what you see in your desks. This is that piece that your wires come through.
Set the wires.
And then this just pops in there, right? And the bracket sits there. I'm super proud of that.
That's pretty rad,
because it looks like it's supposed to be there, and the bracket comes perfectly out. So if you have a hole that you want to fill and run a fog light, go to Office Depot, Office Max, get the little covers for your desk.
Yeah.
Just stick them in there, and now you have an accessible hole that's super clean. It's all ABS plastic. It holds up well. And
that's so funny. If you didn't point that out, I would
never know. And
never know.
I love to tell people because I just am super proud of that.
Yeah.
I do have all the grill. This was out when pulling the engine and trying to get stuff sorted. There's some paint from when I was younger, thinking red horn looked cool, but I don't anymore.
It's a performance horn.
It is. Yeah. These are just hella headlights that I put some crappy tint over, yellow. I'm going to try to find some actual Italian yellow ones. Would be really nice, but I want that look. Thank you, Chuck, for the, I think it's a European, like AAA, but the badge is on there for
AAA,
fun.
like
Yeah, but this is for Europe. Our AAA
that one's
in
so
America.
sick.
Yeah, so you can have this. It's an older one, but
Yeah.
he got me one. I thought they were
That's
super
so
cool.
rad. On a BMW, if you don't have front badges, it actually loses horsepower. Is that correct?
Yeah, you have to have some badges
Something.
up front. I love grill badges.
Yeah.
If you have grill badges, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
They're my favorite.
It's the only thing better than horsepower.
Yes, grill badges are sweet. And so yeah, that kind of just sums up the front. It's been again patched up all along this corner, and there's a line right there. So I'm hoping to get this fixed. That's one of the big things I want to do after it's on the road. Some aftermarket terrible roundel that's already faded. I have a real one in the back, and that's about it for the front. All right, so I'm going to show you the interior of this car. It was reupholstered when I bought it. I like it. It's not quite my taste or what I want to do with it, but it was all new. It is new.
Yeah, it's
So
clean.
it's very clean inside. Eventually race seats. So if you open it up, as Daniel points out,
My favorite is doors with
Yes.
no door frame right here. The best.
It looks the best always. If you want to see how long this car has not ran for, here's some headphones with an aux port that I was probably using before it died.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Useless
we'll get
now.
some shots of the interior, but I did pick up a Nardi steering wheel that it had the original one that was leather wrapped, but I really like these. Gauge cluster wise, I did replace some of the stock. I have stuff to replace some of the stock stuff because it's not working quite right. So RPM gauge is new. I have a speedo that's ready to go in as well. The dash on this one is not too bad. There's a little cracking. I have just a little bit in this pocket, which I'm pretty proud of. So I've been trying to make sure the dash doesn't get destroyed. And this car did have air conditioning, which was kind of a rare option. It had the Bear brand. So it actually pushed out this center console a lot wider. So this is going to get all replaced. I tore out all the AC system because it obviously didn't work and it was extra weight and didn't want it. The seats have been reupholstered. They did the BMW emblem in the headrest.
Why?
I don't know. They're not original. I don't know. The seats are okay. They're not the greatest. And the headrests, I think, are a different brand. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
and
weird.
then the seat belts did go out on me. The original 3-point. So I threw in just lap belts. And that's going to get replaced.
You got it in New Mexico turquoise.
I know. I didn't even mean to. This was a long time ago. How many ashtrays does this one have? It has 3 ashtrays.
No
2
way.
in the back and 1 in the front.
For such a small car.
For
That's
such
so
a
many.
small car, you have 3 ashtrays, which is hilarious. And all the door cards are in really good shape.
Yeah, the door cards are not too bad. It's a little wrinkled here.
Yeah. This car has an electric cutout. So if anyone doesn't know what that is, you have your exhaust pipes coming out. It wires off. And on one side, there's a valve that's controlled with a switch, and the other one goes out to the muffler. So it's a lot of fun. So this engine is a little bit more tuned up, so it's a little bit louder. So there's a button in there I can open up, and it dumps out the side, and occasionally it would shoot flames out, which was kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And a lot of people thought I had some V8 or something in here, but it was just that 4-cylinder because it's actually 3-inch piping all the way. So
wow.
It's kind of loud, and that I'm definitely going to keep. So the electric cutout is super redneck-ish muscle car-y on a European car.
That's
awesome.
its Arkansas roots.
All right, so now we're coming to what we're actually going to be working on, the big part of the car, the main project, everything. The engine bay needs some attention. We are going to clean it up, paint it black, and get rid of all the extra little stuff. And so as you see, I've started. So if you come down, look here, this is all brand new. The subframe's been done. New mounts, condor, engine mounts. The steering box was rebuilt, new bushing, sway bar, bracing, and these awesome control arms, which we'll get into later. Danjer Motorsports, he builds these custom chromoly, and they're extended to give you a little more camber. You can barely see them, but they're right there. Also, all new steering components. So suspension-wise, underneath it's set. Then we move up to the engine bay, which, like I said, we're going to shave everything, paint it, and prep for the engine. I got all the wiring put off. I did, a long time ago, redo a lot of it, but I think we're going to try to work on cleaning some of it up because it's still very old.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
What I was doing was, on hot days, I actually had left the AC fan. So I had the mechanical fan and then this electrical one, and this would help cool down the car. Definitely going to keep this because that was a lifesaver in the heat. The transmission does need to come out just to clean it up and probably put it all in with together, make it a little easier.
Yeah, as opposed to trying to
Hook it up. Yeah, it's a lot of work though. It doesn't. I don't know. Every time I'm talking about it, it sounds like it's not a lot, but when I now do it, it's going to be a lot. I actually picked this up used. I got a whole bunch of stuff also from Coolworks, and that's about it. And in the future, once this is done, there's going to be a lot of fab work I want to do, building custom light covers. I want to clean all this off and build a custom cover for it. Kind of just make it really
clean and simple
and cover a lot of the stuff. Cool.
The car you want to like run out, jump in, whether you're going to the store, the track, the canyon, the coffee.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it. It's just going to be a great driving car, reliable, not perfect, but good enough for shows. So you want to know what the power plant is going to be? It's going to be the original. Well, it's not the original engine, but it's an engine.
A BMW
area, the 2-liter, and we're not going to show you quite yet what's wrong with this one, which we thought was a good one ready to go in. But this is the engine that we're going to be using. And this is the engine we're going to be using. And this is the engine we're going to be using. And there's also an engine block stored somewhere else that we're going to be using. Here's some more pistons and a crank.
5?
It's going to be a standard 2-liter downdraft 32, 36 Weber because I have it. There's a new flywheel, probably a stage 2 clutch. Yeah, so we have 3 engines spread throughout this garage. We're going to make them into one good one.
As you do with BMWs.
Oh, and man, Daniel, I think we need to update the Instagram handle because I'm a cool guy and had it on there, but no more.
Early adopter of that too,
yes.
I'd say.
I would definitely say I was one of the originals, but now we're going to be putting some Speed Shark Garage on there.
Yeah.
But that wraps it up.
Make sure to follow us at Speed Shark Garage, Speed Shark Racing, Speed Shark Moto.
We got them all now.
We got them all now. So sign up for it because I think you can kind of watch this a little bit more in real time.
Thanks for watching. And what do they always say, Daniel?
Be sure to lube your ball joints.
Yeah.